We're down here at Buckler's Hard on a perishing cold day in December. We're here aboard the English Harbour 27. This is a river boat, but also an offshore boat too. So we're going to take her up and down the river here, right to the head of navigation, but we're also going to take her out in the Solent and see how she performs out there. Of course, if you do a lot of river boating, what you need is two spaces really. Space for socialising, it's the balance cockpit here, but also when you're drifting up and down rivers, you do a lot of rubbernecking, watching the world go by. And to this end, English Harbour provided 4 seats up the front here, so you can watch the world go by. The English Harbour 27, you probably spotted, is quite a tall boat, but I think it carries its height really well. It's quite an elegant boat underway. And of course, one of the great advantages of that height is it gives you a really good view out, even if you're a bit of a short arse like me. This boat is the prototype boat, and it's being modified and refined. So this steering boss here is being shortened so that when you stand up, there's a little bit more space in between the wheel and the seat. Otherwise, actually, it all sort of falls to hand. Throttle here, and yeah, it all works really well. But good view out through the screen. If you sit down, the wind does tend to go over the top, and you can see out through the screen really well because they're quite deep. But when you stand up, then you've got a good view over the top of the screen. Yeah, for people who are going to potter up and down rivers, the good news is that this boat tracks really well thanks to its deep keel and its sharp forefoot. Boat's designed by Andrew Wolstenholme, so he's incapable of producing anything other than the sweetest looking hulls. And the boat handles really well, very manoeuvrable. Boat turns very tightly. If you give it a bit of bow thruster as well as a bit of throttle, it can spin round, not quite in its own length, but not far off. Now, depending on how fast you want to go, there are several options. The boat we tested here, it's got the 75 horsepower sail drive unit, and we achieved 9 knots flat out with that thing. English Harbour do have plans to experiment with propellers, and they're convinced that they can get another 3 knots up to about sort of 12 knots flat out, which will allow you to cruise at 10. They also had to have 2 stern drive units in mind, which will be for the offshore boats, and that's the 140 and the 170 horsepower Volvo D3 engines, very smooth and quiet, and with those that sort of engine power, you'll be easily doing over 20 knots. Down below here in the English Harbour 27, the thing I like so much about this boat is the sense of human scale about it. You know, a lot of little boats, everything's sort of scaled down as if little boats have little people on board, which of course they don't. And I think the key to it is that this is designed by Adam Greenwood, who was the chief designer at Fairline for a long time. So this is a chap who's designed, you know, the Fairline Squadron 78, and I think when you look around you, you can really see that in the scale of things here. So, you know, we've got 6'3" headroom here. The settee behind me, which is convertible of course, is also 6'3" long, and it's hugely wide. You know, it's just 6 foot wide at its widest point. And then in here in the heads compartment, you have a separate shower. Good headroom in there as well. Then in front of me here we've got 2 full-size berths, single berths which convert into a double by pulling them together. So everything breathes very easily in this boat, which is only 27 foot long.